Hey, folks and gentlemen of all ages here. Welcome back. We're going to talk about a tool that I found, and this is extremely important, especially as the year ends. And I want to make sure that you understand why I'm doing this and where I'm coming from. See, here's the thing: is I'm a strong believer that a strong man is driven by organization. A strong man is driven by, clear mental thoughts. He's not chaos driven, right? Men only are really effective when we're clear minded, when we have a goal in mind. Um, Most of us are not looking for some emotional breakthrough. We just want to get through the day without our head feeling and our mental thoughts feeling scattered. Between work, family, responsibility, everything stacks up fast. And if you don't have a place for all that mental weight to go, it turns into noise. And that noise can be an absolute distraction, right? For me, the problem wasn't motivation. The problem wasn't discipline. I've been disciplined pretty much for the last 7.5 years. For me, it was that mental clutter between the trauma of losing my son in 2012 and work and being morbidly obese until I wasn't, and then adding stresses at work and here at the family and in the gym. you know, I would come home and I was a mental disaster. So, what I needed to do and what surprised me was finding a tool, not a therapist, not a diagnosis, just a tool to help me put order back into my thinking. And here's the thing: when your thoughts are in order, everything else in your life starts to feel and become more manageable. So let's set the frame here. Okay. I want to talk to you. I want to walk you through how I've been using AI, specifically ChatGPT, as a journaling tool. And just as important, and let me be very clear here, I want to be clear about what I'm not using it for. Because right now, there is a lot of conversation around AI and mental health, and not all of it is healthy. So, let's go ahead and jump in about what this is, and more importantly, what this is not. This is not therapy, okay? It does not replace professional help. It is not a crisis support line, and this is not outsourcing your own personal responsibilities to a machine, okay? If you are dealing with some serious mental health issues, you need real people to talk to, and real people are the only people that can help. So, that said, what is this? This is a way that I use to reflect on the day. It helps me reduce my mental clutter. It helps me to bring order instead of chaos into my life. Okay. And that is why this is such an important topic to me. And I believe it's an important topic to most men. So, most men already know that journaling is probably good for them. They've thought about writing down their thoughts in the past on a sheet of paper in a journal. However, the blank page kills it. This here is a mind journal. Okay. I purchased this probably, about 3 years ago. I paid a lot of money for it. It's well built. It's a well built journal. But here, let me show you something here. See all that? Those are blank pages. And here's the thing: you'd sit down at the end of the day and think, what am I even supposed to write in this thing? You know, this journal does have prompts, but it's still hard for a guy to just sit down and write. Because, like I said, what am I supposed to write? And the problem then becomes journaling becomes inconsistent, or it becomes awkward, or it just doesn't even stick. I mean, I would gather to say most men don't avoid journaling because they don't care. They avoid it because there's a lot of friction involved in actually doing the process. So let's go ahead. I'm going to kind of explain to you in a simple way how I set up my daily ChatGPT journal. Okay. And I'm going to keep this intentionally simple. I'm not going to show you online how I set it up. I'm just going to explain it to you. So please listen. I go one place. I go to ChatGPT. I go into my daily projects, and that is where I put my daily journal in. It's one ongoing journal thread. I don't make a different journal for every single day. I go back into the same conversation that I was having with ChatGPT. At the end of the day, I put in the next daily journal. It's not a complicated system. Now, here's what I do. I set the intentions up front. When I put in my projects daily journal, I told ChatGPT, this is for reflection. This is not for therapy. I asked structured, practical questions, and I told it I want structured, practical questions back to me. Why do I do that? Because it helps me summarize the day. It kept it grounded and kept it very direct. And basically, at the end of the day, I'm not dumping my emotions into ChatGPT. I am reviewing the day. What am I reviewing? Well, what went well in the day? What didn't go well? Where did the stress show up at? What needs to change tomorrow? It's less about feelings and more about reviewing the day the way a man reviews his work. If you take a look at, a high-end carpenter or a welder, who is crafting something, at the end of the day, they are going back to the work that they just completed for the day and they're reviewing it, making sure everything is right. That way they can set up mentally for the next day and move on to the next process. So now I did do something in my ChatGPT. I put in what's called what I refer to as value-based prompts. Okay. And this has made this even more effective by tying those prompts to my values, not someone else's values, my values. So by doing so, it allows the journal to go ahead and say, did my actions line up with what I say matters? Right? Where did I show discipline in my day? Where did I fall short? Why did I fall short? Did I handle the stress the way I wanted to as a man or as I should have as a man? So here's the thing. These prompts don't create emotion. They create clarity. They help you review the day against your own standard, not just to relive it, right? You're comparing what you set as your standards to the day and how you reacted. So now I got to talk about guardrails because boundaries matter here. And I want you to slow down for just a minute, because if there's any part of this video that is probably the most important, I would say this right here is the most important. So you may have seen recent news stories about people using AI as emotional support and having serious problems as a result, including one case where a man blamed ChatGPT for reinforcing a psychotic episode after he treated it like a friend and a therapist. Yes, this gentleman treated ChatGPT like a friend, like a therapist. I'm not bringing this up to scare anyone, but it's to make a point. AI can become dangerous, and listen to me clearly, when it replaces human connection, professional help, or personal responsibility. Okay? So that means everything that you put into this is your responsibility to make sure you still have human connection. Remember what I said at the beginning of the video. This is not a therapist. If you need to seek help, seek help. And this is why boundaries matter, right? I don't talk to AI like it's a person. I don't treat it like a counselor. I don't let it interpret my life. You can put those prompts in there and you're going to get something back, but you should not be doing that. Excuse me. I use it more like a notebook that talks back, nothing more. It's a tool that is only useful when you stay in control of it. Okay? Remember that. It's only a tool. So why does an AI journal work as a tool for a man? First of all, used correctly, AI works because it removes that blank page. Here's a lot of blank pages right here that I paid a lot of money for, right? It adds structure. What do I mean by add structure? And it adds well, first of all, it adds structure and it adds consistency. Because of my prompts, there's a structure in my daily journal. The consistency part is I put an entry into my journal every day before I go to bed. That way, based on my prompts, I can go ahead and see what I did right, what I did wrong, and how I can improve for the day tomorrow. Excuse me. One second here. I'm being it's a weekend. I'm going to have a little sip of bourbon that a friend of mine made. Mm, spicy. Anyways, going back to why it works for tools as a man, it helps you see patterns over time. Okay. But the responsibility stays with you. This isn't about being guided, it's about being organized. So think of this as an organizational tool that allows you to go back through it, and it allows you to go ahead and review the day. So this is what I need. And this is the what I need you guys to do now. I want you as men to pull up and use the free ChatGPT version. Now, there are differences, and I may do another video on the differences for journaling between the free version and the paid version. I am using the paid version, okay? But I want you as men for the next 30 days, download ChatGPT, okay? Set up the prompts and start journaling in ChatGPT. And after 30 days, I want you to come back and let me know what happens. See, here's the thing. Men don't need more noise. Men need clarity. And journaling, even with AI, it's just one more way to build order instead of or out of chaos. Okay? Like I said, if it sounds useful, keep it simple. Use the free version. And if it helps you at the end of the day with your head, and see if it helps you at the end of the day with your head just a little bit clearer. That's it. Remember what I like to say. There's no downside for a man to be physically stronger, metabolically healthy, or spiritually fortified. Part of all three of those that helps you succeed in making all three of those is keeping your head and your thoughts organized. That's it. Give it a try. I'm going to put down, I want to see in the comments down below, if you are already journaling with AI, let people know that you're journaling with AI in the comments, and what are your favorite prompts for your journal? Okay. I may do the same thing. Let me know what you guys think. I'll chat with you guys all later, and have a Merry Christmas and a blessed New Year.